Welcome to Sorry I'm a Bitch. I'm your host, Kaylee.
And I am Hannah.
And today we are talking about overcoming imposter syndrome. Hannah, can you tell us what imposter syndrome is?
Basically feeling like a fraud. Yeah. Essentially. Being qualified for something and feeling like a fraud.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like a fraud?
Or feeling like you're just not good enough.
Yeah.
Or qualified for something.
Yeah. I saw something that said that they're going to figure me out. They're going to know.
They're going to know
that
I'm faking it.
Yeah. So we both came with examples of people who have experienced.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't do my homework. I tried to do my homework. You came with,
That's okay.
with examples.
I've got a couple.
So we'll talk about your example.
Yeah. So I actually, when I was looking up people who have had imposter syndrome or had admitted that they have imposter syndrome, I was really surprised by the results.
Really?
They were people who I would have never had guessed.
Yeah.
Like Maya Angelou, she has a quote that says, I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Like, this is somebody that every single person knows. You study her in multiple subjects in school.
Who's truly changed the world.
Has worked with people like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And
I mean, are we all imposters?
Like, at least for me, anytime I succeed in something, I'm like, fuck, I got lucky. Not yeah, I did it. I worked really hard.
Yeah.
When I was a real estate agent, be like really kicking ass in a quarter. I'm like, well, I'm getting really lucky this quarter, but next quarter is not going to be like this. And they're going to find out that I'm actually not good at this job.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was very stressful.
Yeah. I relate to that so much. I feel oftentimes that, and granted, I've been in my career since I was 22. Like, I graduated college and I became a designer. Like, I went to school, got a job, was very lucky in that regard. And I've learned so much, but even to this day, I've been in my job for 2 years. I love it. I'll be working and I'll be like, am I actually doing this wrong? Am I doing it the right way? Is the process that I'm taking to create these things, is it adequate? Like, are my file handoffs good enough? And they are. Like, people have told me, they're like, you have really clean files. Like, you work really quickly and efficiently. Like, there's always compliments, but I'm constantly just like, they're going to figure me out. And it can lead to you missing out on opportunities. Oh yeah.
Like, just recently I'm writing a book. Yeah. And my writing was accepted into an international writer's residency, and which is a big deal. And I applied for it, just being like, oh, this isn't going to happen, but whatever, I'm just going to apply. And when I was sending them my work, I remember being like, they read so many amazing works of art all day. Even in the email that they sent me, it was like, we have a ton of applicants. Like, it takes them 7 months to narrow it down on who they're going to choose. Wow. And it's 8 writers. I was like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. I got accepted. And then because I panicked and I curled up in a fetal position, and I was like, well, I can't do this. I can't go and be vulnerable in front of people who are good enough to be accepted into this. Like, no way. And because I waited and I didn't take my spot was taken from me because I just waited way too long. Because
you were having an actual emotional response to someone believing in you.
Yeah.
This episode altogether, imposter syndrome, I feel like lately I've really been struggling with it. And it's not just me. I feel like I feel like everyone is dealing with it. I feel like women really struggle with imposter syndrome. I feel like women in their 30s right now, millennial women, I feel like we are waking up to our potential, and we are seeing the world because we're a little bit older, we're a little bit wiser, and we're seeing things with clearer vision. It's helping us to realize our potential. And I think we're at this point where we're like, oh my God, do I want to continue on with the status quo of my life, or do I want to challenge myself, and do I want to put myself in new situations and be uncomfortable and feel like an imposter? And that's why I asked the question earlier, like, are we all just imposters? To an extent, we kind of are. You have to fake it till you make it, basically, until you learn the trade that you're in. you are faking it.
For Zach, he really wanted to go for this job. And he was like, I just don't want them to tell me no. And I was like, don't block your own blessings. Let somebody else block it for you. I would rather someone else block it for me than me block it.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself, why the fuck are they going to believe that you can do the job? Like, no, you walk in there and you're like, I can do this. I know this company in and out. I've worked here for this amount of years. I want this promotion. The confidence is going to get you the job. And that's exactly what he did.
Exactly.
And he got the job.
That's exactly what he did.
Exactly. Yeah. When I was hiring, I always liked to hire people who just needed a break. And more often than not, no one had ever believed in them and they killed it.
It's almost like you have to, like when you've been given a chance by someone, you want to prove yourself.
Yeah.
When I got my first job out of college, I would show up to work at 7 a.m. I would leave at 6 p.m. I busted my balls for that job for very little pay. And I learned so much. But I still felt like an imposter. I still feel like an imposter. I feel like an imposter all the time. Even with losing weight, I'm still fat.
Oh no.
Even though I'm like athletic and I can run now, I can lift weights. I'm like, I have this imposter thing happening.
My mom, this was when I first started writing my book. We were taking a walk and she was like, I always thought you were going to write a book. You're such a great writer. I just always thought you were going to write a book. And I was at the time writing the book and I didn't say anything to her. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. But I didn't be like, oh yeah, I actually am writing a book, because I didn't want to like open that door of, if I don't succeed at it, then no one knows about it. And then it's like, fine. But as soon as I open that door and people know about it, then it's, oh no, like all eyes on me.
And that's the thing from an outside perspective. If every single person who created something was perfect at it the first run around, what kind of a world would we live in? Things take time to grow and develop. So the fact that you put yourself out there, and this is, I'm also saying this for myself, the fact that you put yourself out there is so important and vital to not just yourself, but to humanity.
I think it's important for us to know that this is imposter syndrome instead of being like, oh, I just can't do it. I think it's great that we're both acknowledging, no, I can do it. I have the talent to do it. I want to do it.
I'm just a little pussy.
I'm just a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, for instance, did I sit there and curl up in the fetal position? Like, I'm not good enough, because I was like actually trying to block that. I wanted that to like not happen, because then it's real. And then I have to go. I was almost relieved when they were like, that spot was filled, but we're going to put you in the 2026 class. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I have more time. But I guarantee you, once that time rolls around, I'm going to be like, I have to read my writing in front of people.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, if I'm wanting to publish it, it's like, it's going to be out there. It's
You're going to have
more
to do it
than
anyways.
7 people sitting there listening to it.
I feel like imposter syndrome, the process of overcoming it, you kind of have to curl up in the fetal position and you have to experience that loss. You're basically, by having such a strong emotional response, it's a little bit of self-sabotage, but you're having that response for a reason. Like, you need to feel it. You need to get those feelings out so that you can be a writer, so that you can go there and be like, I'm meant to be here.
And hopefully that's how it'll be. Hopefully I get off the train in France and I'm like, I deserve to be here. This is all me. And
just keep saying it.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to keep saying it.
You know what's crazy is I wouldn't let anybody tell me that like I couldn't do shit, but I'll tell myself.
Yeah. Why is that? I think it's the patriarchy. That's usually my go-to reason for things. Imagine a world where everybody who believed in themselves accomplished what they believe in. The world would be so beautiful.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people who don't believe in themselves and who are really angry and upset and who probably feel imposter syndrome and don't fight it.
I also think that women supporting women is a big thing. A win for my friend is a win for me.
Men need to support women too.
Agreed.
I love seeing you and Zach, because Zach is the most supportive.
Yeah.
And he's been here throughout the whole podcast process, and it's just been so lovely. Steve he's been on camera, so that's more so than Zach. But I actually had a conversation with him about imposter syndrome regarding the podcast, regarding my music. When is that voice that tells me that I can't do it, that tells me I'm not good at it, that tells me, what have you signed yourself up for? When is that gonna like shut the fuck up? And he's like, when you put yourself out there and you challenge yourself and you are going through change and you're actually in it and experiencing it, it's not going to be comfortable. Change is not comfortable. It does something to you. It's so rewarding. Being here now, doing it, it's like a sense of relief. We've been planning for months. What do we talk about? What's our tone? Where do we go? How do we film this? How do we record it?
And we've failed already.
Oh yeah.
Not publicly.
But we did. We tried. And we were like, this just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But we did it. I'm really proud of us. And who knows, maybe we'll get to the end of this and we'll be like, still not good enough.
Please don't. Because I'm not coming back here. It's so hot.
It's so hot. But look at that pool.
It's so hot. We'll meet somewhere else.
No, we're not. This time around is going to be good.
No, we're doubting ourselves again.
We are. Well, but I think doubt is natural. It's healthy to doubt yourself to a certain degree. Because if you don't doubt yourself,
it's narcissism.
Well, and are you like a little delusional? No matter how good you are, let's say someone is the smartest mathematician in the world and they know everything.
You know, Albert Einstein admitted to having imposter syndrome. So it's funny that you say that, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Sorry.
I was like, what if they just like believed in themselves wholeheartedly? Like that would be like, you have to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you doubt yourself, I guess you kind of accept that there's a possibility for other options or other routes to take. Yeah. I didn't know that Albert Einstein struggled with that. Is that part of your research?
It was. You say roots.
Route. Route.
I say route. Is this
route?
Oh my God.
I think it was an accident. I'm doubting myself. I'm doubting how I said route.
You're becoming an imposter with your own English language now.
I'm just dissociating now.
I mean both are correct. I
didn't roll my R's. Do you have like a game plan for how you're going to get over the imposter syndrome?
No, I think I'm going to get there and the entire time be scared shitless, but I think I'm going to leave it with more knowledge, contacts, and experience. I feel like scary things are exciting to me. Like it's scary to travel by yourself, be gone from your family for 2 weeks, present this work of art that you've worked on for years and present it for the first time to people and then be like, okay, dissect.
You lived out of your car with your cat in like the southwest of America.
I mean, not really. That makes it sound like I was homeless. I just traveled with my cat.
It was for an extended period of time. Was it not?
No, I left Vegas and and I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. And so I like packed a trash bag up like with my cat. And I was like, all right, let's.
She put the cat in the trash bag.
In the trash bag. Like she was in. She died.
Recently, not in the trash bag.
My paternal grandmother passed away. So then I went to Pennsylvania, went back to Indiana, and then.
Were you paying rent anywhere?
No.
So you.
Yeah, technically.
You were a little couch surfing.
A little homeless.
That's okay.
Yeah. And then I went to Austin, and Austin gave me the most confidence. Austin was a good move for me. In Vegas, I just felt like I just didn't belong. I moved to Austin. It was the first time of just like really me being by myself, making all new friends and not living anywhere where family was.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've been somewhere where nobody is telling me who I am. I can kind of just be who I want to be.
Imagine if our roles were reversed. You would be telling me like, Hannah, go into that balls deep. Don't be afraid because your fear is going to hold you back from all the potential. And granted, I think a little bit of fear is good. Like having that adrenaline, having a little bit of stress and pressure adds to the creative outcome. Yeah. But also being fearless is so vital. Yeah. I think you're going to go in there and be fearless.
If you're not scared of your dreams, they're not big enough.
I think this podcast is a huge step for me of like, get in front of the camera. Don't be behind the camera all the time. All of the things that you talk about with all of your friends who you love dearly and who love you dearly, you're going to talk about it to the world with one of your best friends. That's kind of scary. Like this is uncomfortable for sure. I want different headphones. I don't, it's weird to wear headphones.
I'm also feel like there are topics that we have been covering where I'm like, ooh, I have a really good story for that, but I can't put that out to the world because that's gonna hurt some feelings, and like that's the last thing I want to do. I think we've done it. I think during this episode we have recognized our worth. This has been helpful.
I'm never wearing a long sleeve shirt again.
I'm sweating.
I'm so sweaty.
So much right now.
I can feel the under tit sweat.
I'm so hot.
Let's get out of here.
All right, let's go.
Okay, congratulations.
Bye.